Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of our Leverage podcast. This guest is going to be super exciting. I know a little bit of her background, some various businesses that she has run. We've stayed connected over the last handful of years through some other business partner opportunities and being in similar lanes, shall we say. So I'm excited to hear what Chelsea has to say today. We're definitely going to get into her background a little bit. She had a lot of experience, whether it's around leverage or running businesses, things of that nature. So, Chelsea, tell us a little bit about who you are and how you make money.
Yes. So I'm a mother and I'm a wife, favorite title of all. And we have been blessed, with this business adventure in a multi kind of faceted realm, if you will. We've done real estate, we've done glass, we've kind of ventured through a couple different glass companies and what that looks like. Right now, our primary source is real estate and transaction management. Kind of got thrown into real estate moving to Texas, didn't really care to learn about it or be in it, was really just looking for a job. And wow, it has literally changed my life. And so, kind of taken that real estate business entrepreneur, mindset, and we've started TrueCore Solutions, which is our transaction management company that we recently have developed. And that's kind of where our bread and our butter is coming from right now. Um, Literally leverage. I remember the first time I heard the word leverage was at my first Sphere Rocket conference, and Justin was telling the story about the whole like lawsuit. I don't know if I can say that on here, but
Yeah,
was
you're good.
telling that whole story, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Like it's such a simple word, but it literally can be an absolute game changer. And so I remember him telling us that story, and literally he had the black shirt with the word leverage on it, and I'm like, it's so simple and it's so you know, like blunted in your face. I'm like, and that has stuck with me the last 5 years. And so that's kind of my journey and where we've gotten started.
Love it. Where did you when you first kind of started thinking about leverage, or you saw that indication? Do you feel like you were at the right point, late to the game in your mind? What held you back, if anything held you back, or did you hit it at the right time?
I when I first like learned about leverage, I was in the mindset of like, I don't really need the leverage. I can do it myself. I need all the money. I need to learn how to do all the tasks and do everything myself. I don't even know how to leverage. Um, Literally right now, as we have this conversation, I am in the messy middle, the thick of I waited too long to have the leverage, and now I'm like crawling out of the hole and figuring out how to utilize leverage in the right areas. And literally, when you and I had talked about doing this, I was like, okay, maybe this is God telling me like, you ready to listen? Because literally was drowning because and learning those aspects of like, I can do all the things, and then when you realize I don't have the time to do all the things, I'm probably not the best person to be doing all the things. How do I now pass that off? Um,
Yeah.
so I'm definitely like in the thick of the mess right now, but learning I don't want all the money. I don't want to do all the tasks. I want my time. And that has been the
Yeah.
biggest realization for me is like learning how to leverage and doing it appropriately. I get that time back. And that's really all I'm doing it for to begin with?
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. It's like the money doesn't make people happy. It's the freedom and the quality of life based. Most people will measure experiences more than money, right? And
Yeah.
that experience a lot of times for business owners is the business. That's
Yeah.
what the kids see is the business. That's what the spouses see, the
Yeah.
business. That's how they define experiences with businesses without leverage. And so you don't really know how rewarding leverage is until you sit back in 6 months, 8 months, whatever the case may be, and you go, wow, this is amazing. I'm on
Yeah.
vacation. Everything's still taken. I mean, even the smallest things. I'm on vacation and I don't have to answer emails, or I'm on vacation and somebody's taking my phone calls, right? And then it
Yes.
just grows and expands from there. Or I'm at my kid's baseball game. I'm not answering that phone call because somebody's
Yeah.
taking care of it for me, right? It's the little things, but the little things are what add up to the overall stress, right, that business owners have.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, thanks for sharing that. And we see that a lot of times with our owners, right? Is there's no playbook because every business is different as to when you install leverage, right? And so most people will do exactly what you said. You're very normal in that capacity of, hey, I can do it myself. But so can a baseball player can rake the field too. But is the baseball player out there raking the field before the game? He's not, because he has a higher and better use of his time, which is go win baseball games, right? So
Yes.
I tell people all the time is let go, right? And we hear that common theme, right? Is I don't know when to hire. And usually by the time we hit the revenue, we normally won't move on a leverage piece until we feel enough pain, right? And then when we feel that pain, which pain is defined a lot of different ways, business is falling apart, or I can't service my clients, or my marriage is falling apart, whatever it is, there's different pains out there. And then we get to that point where it's like you said, kind of the messy middle, where it's like, ugh, I'm going to see this as one more additional duty on my plate of already the million duties that I have. And I go, well, sucks to be you. You should have been more proactive
Yes.
in this process.
Yes.
You created this mess. So
I did. Yes, that's so true. I'm the problem.
And then a Taylor Swift song, it's me, I'm the problem.
Probably. Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. So yeah, it's very normal, right? Very normal. And again, we won't listen until we have that pain, right? And then when we experience that pain, then they have a choice to make, right? And we all know that, right? And so either continue that, the definition of insanity is do the same thing over and over again, right? And expect different results. Or I tell people all the time, it's okay, throttle down your business, right? Throttle down your business, handle what you can handle, have more free time. But a lot of business owners, that's not the answer that they want.
Yeah.
Which is totally fair, right? Then you need to go. And I always try to tell people it's, you're going to go further with a team, but you could go faster by yourself, but you're not going to go further. Right. And I look at every corporation, everything, right? Everything has a leverage. And look at it, software as leverage. People are leverage, right? Leverage comes in a lot of different ways. A third party TC company like yourself, what is that? That's leverage, right? That's leverage for a real estate owner. So I digress, and I don't usually talk this much, but thank you for letting me jump in.
Yes, that's all the things.
What's the biggest thing you're focused on growing right now?
Focus on growing the real estate. The transaction management business. Seeing where that leverage can take it has literally opened Pandora's box. I'm like, oh, I got this idea. Now I'm grabbing all the things and I'm like, I can leverage everything now and I can just go create cool shit. And I'm so excited. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now, is like focusing on how to take what we've built, which has been way more successful than I thought it would. We've literally started TrueCore since January 1 of 2026. And what it's blossomed into, I'm like, I was never expecting. And now seeing, okay, we've done this. Now, how can we get to the next level faster, quicker, better? And I'm excited again. I have the fire, to push to that next step, and just grow it and make it something big and beautiful. So many more people can utilize our services.
Absolutely. And I think that's the key, right? Is that leverage I think a lot of business owners get burned out because they're holding on to too much, right? Because they have too much control. They can't let go, whatever the issue is. But that's what truly burns them out. They're burned out because they don't get to work in their zone of genius, which a lot of people is scaling, growing, new ideas, expansion. But when you're trying to do expansion and you're trying to do all of these things while still managing the day-to-day operational space, it's very difficult. That's why you see corporations be successful, because they've identified a COO, right? A chief operating officer. They have a CMO. All of those are now most businesses don't scale to that level, but the concept remains true, right? If you push it down to the other business models, there's people. The answer is always who. It's never a what, where, when. It's always a who. And that was one of the most powerful questions I always asked in coaching is, who takes that on for you? If that's a pain for you, who can you get to take that pain away?
Absolutely.
Love it. What's one thing you do today most people in your industry are not doing? What's something unique?
Oh, what's something unique that we are not doing?
You're doing that others are not doing.
I would probably say just having the conversation, right? So a lot of times if we get a no, we get a rejection. I see a lot of times where people are like, oh, okay, they said no, like we're not ready to be in business, whatever. No, I'm not taking no for an answer. It may be a no right now, but it's going to be, we're going to have another conversation. And I think just following up, but not in a like a salesy way, or here's my beautiful service, not like that, but like more of a relationship based way of what do you need? Do you need a prayer? Do you need a high five? Do you need a hug? Do you need a contractor? Whatever it may be. If you don't need TC services, great. How's life? Like, let's get to know each other. I feel like there's always something that somebody else can teach me. And I also want to know that. It's not so much about what I can do for other people in that realm, but in more of like a relationship based setting to where we can learn and grow from each other in business or not in business. And so I'm just like really focusing on, let's just have a conversation. How can we be of service to each other, to the community, to the world, and just build a friendship, And I feel like that's one thing that kind of sets us apart is it's like we just want to be at service regardless of what that looks like. Love people and serve our God.
Yeah, no, that's so powerful and so important. I'm the same way with you, right? As I can have a transactional based business just because of scale of what we do. We will be a lot of transactional based. And I say transactional based that I don't have time to get to know 1,500 clients that are active in our deck. However, what I will say with that is my most important business opportunities and partnerships have come through relationships, right? All of those others that are transactional based, I absolutely adore and appreciate. However, those that have made an effort, or I've made an effort to engage as part of that larger community, right? As you said, those networking, they're independent of the business is what it boils down to, right? If they decide they don't want to use our VA services after a year or two, it doesn't change my mind about who they are as a person or as a friendship, right? And those connections are really important to me, like you say.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you lost everything tomorrow, I set you up for this question earlier on my head. If you lost everything tomorrow, what would be the first thing you'd rebuild?
The first thing I would rebuild would be my mindset. Like, clearly I did something wrong to lose it all. So I need to address, okay, what did I do wrong so I don't do it again? But then I pick my pieces back up and we figure it out. I feel like life is like that all the time. We hit new levels and then it's like, okay, did you learn the lessons there? Because if you didn't, you're gonna relearn it, right? And so I guess that would pretty much be it. Like, okay, what did I do wrong? What do I need to fix to pick up my pieces, move forward, better, faster, stronger, in a more efficient and effective way?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the key thing is, like you said, learn from the mistake, learn from the lesson, whether it was your fault, not your fault, but the whole emotional intelligence is control what you control, right? And you just go forward and say, okay, I can either be negative about this, which is not going to bode well, or I can just pull my bootstraps up and go figure it out, right?
Yep, exactly.
What's a lesson you've learned the hard way?
Oh man.
I know it's usually a lot for business owners, but one.
What's a lesson I've learned the hard way? Dang, I feel like I'm learning lessons every day.
What's something you just had to convince yourself that you had to let go of it because it just wasn't working for you, right? Or you just had to change your mindset around it, even though you were like, this is gonna work.
Yeah, I think from a business aspect, it's like be slow to hire and quick to fire.
Yeah.
I, for a long time, was like, let's just figure it out. Let's change things. We can make it work. And sometimes you just can't, and that's okay. And coming to that realization, like, let's just cut the cord, move on, next. Like, next. Definitely a lesson I've learned the hard way. I give so much grace because I know how much grace I want to receive. In the same time, we have a business to run and things have to keep moving and growing. So I've definitely learned that one the hard way. Like, we're just going to hold on to everything, and that's not always how that works.
Yeah, man, that's a really great point because I see that all the time, right? And a lot of these conferences, I'll go to like the really high level conferences where it's 7, 8, 9 figure businesses. They'll get up on stage and they'll say, each one of you know today, if you have a big enough organization, there's one person that you probably are supposed to fire, right? There's somebody you're
Yeah.
hanging on to right now. A 1 or 2 or 3 person shop, no, but 50, 30, 20, something like that. It's like there's usually somebody there that you're just like, not to be cutthroat and not to be cruel on the podcast, but the reality of it is we know somebody's not performing and we're just giving them too much leniency, right? So that's a good point. What is something entrepreneurs are currently consistently underestimating?
I would say the value of time. To underestimate the value of time is a tough one, right? Because I feel like so many entrepreneurs get into the business because that's all they want. They want time and they want money. Well, okay, that's fine. You can have both, but to get that time back, you're gonna have to literally like crawl your way through the trenches, And I'm solely speaking from my own experience on that one. It's like you get into real estate, you get into transaction management. I want to make all this money, but I want to do it on my own terms. I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I don't want to have to check in with anybody. And it's like, okay, then you're going to have this kind of business, the highs and the lows. Time is like, it's such a killer because I also teach a time blocking class. So I'm like, I had to get my ass whooped by time in order to, effectively share with other people how it can be your best friend or it can be your worst friend. And just the value of time and how to get there to have that freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that because even, the largest business owners will say the fundamental concept of if you're successful or not starts with your calendar, right? And everybody just wants to overlook that and blow it away. That's like, oh, that's too basic. That's too generic. There's bigger visions and bigger strategies. I'm like, yeah, it's not. You better master your time blocking and you better master your calendar. I know how boring that sounds, but guess what? If you honor it and you respect it and you time block, just like you said, it makes a difference. And again, you can have all the leverage if you want, but if you still have a mayhem calendar, you're not gonna feel the relief, right? So it's a time blocking plus the leverage, and what are you teaching your organization as well? If you run around with your head on fire and your VAs or your assistants in office, they see that, right? And now they're gonna mimic what you do, right, as a leader. So you better show what they should be doing, right, through your example.
Absolutely.
All right. What is your piece of leverage advice you'd give someone trying to get to the next level?
Let it go. Seriously, just let it go. Create those expectations, right? With the leverage, you're passing tasks off, you're passing a position off, whatever it may be. Set it up to where you can pass it off effectively and let it go. Let it flourish. I feel like leverage and accountability go hand in hand, right? If you're going to leverage tasks or something to somebody else, one, be willing to hold them accountable to what you set as far as those expectations, but also hold yourself accountable to leveraging those tasks. Because then if you don't fully leverage it and let it go, you're just micromanaging. And then you're doing it halfway yourself, halfway to the other person. It's creating more pain than necessary. Like, let that stuff go. And truly, like, I'm copying Justin, and I'm going to go get a shirt made with leverage because I feel like I need to post it to my forehead sometimes. And I'm literally like speaking to myself right now when I'm saying this. I'm like, okay, there's other things that I probably need to just let go of. But it's that reminder of like, you're doing this for a reason and for a purpose, and it's for the greater good. Let it go.
Well, and there's something that not only does it give you a sense of relief for you, but you're also helping somebody else, right? And that's the way I look at it too, right? Is like, if I bring a team member on, I sort of feel responsible, right? Up to a point of how they perform, that's up to them. But I want to bring them in because that makes me a better person too, to be honest with you. I'm not going to let others fail because I'm being lazy, because now I feel like they're under my wings, right? And I have no greater joy than to watch other people be successful in my businesses. Obviously, their success directly contributes to my success. So of course it makes sense for that. But I truly have a heart, right, for watching people reach levels of either finances or just break through ceilings that they've never been able to get through in a corporate world. That's another side benefit people don't talk about with the right leaders in place, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let's hit a lightning round here, and this will be kind of the last handful of questions, and then we'll wrap it up. Favorite business book?
Oh, favorite business book. Current one is Atomic Habits.
Yeah, James Clear, one of my favorites. Best purchase under $1,000?
My Bible.
I love it. Love it. Let's go with favorite AI tool.
Oh, AI is kicking my butt right now. I'm going to keep it at ChatGPT.
All right. If I were to open your phone and see what it says you spent the most time on, what app would that be?
Oh, probably ChatGPT.
What is your most impactful habit?
Serving my community, serving my people, serving just serving in general.
All right, love it. What is a belief that most entrepreneurs disagree with?
That you can do everything yourself, because we cannot. I love it, but we can't.
Agreed. I like I said, the even buy back your time. I'm a big believer in Dan Martell's book, but right, it's always that statement of 80% of what you could do is still better than never getting it done, right? And so I'm a big believer, and too many people won't let go control because they're like, it's not exactly how I would do it. I'm like, cool, but you're not getting it done anyway, so what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that you would automate immediately. It could be anything, doesn't have to be business. Could be changing your kids' diapers.
Thankfully I'm past that stage. Automate immediately. I think follow up and communication. You can never over communicate. Just there's always more to give and more to communicate.
Absolutely. What's one thing you'd never delegate?
Oh, one thing I'd never delegate. That personal relationship. I mean, you can't let it go. You got to still be front facing.
100%. And that's what I always try to tell people is you want to get rid of all of this stuff that's important, right? That doesn't move the needle, but the communications, if you're not having belly to belly contacts with people in your business, then you're either under leveraged or you're just not committed to growth. What is your Chelsea Lyerly's definition of leverage?
Definition of leverage: buying back my time and watching the business flourish.
Absolutely. I love it. Chelsea, thanks so much for being on this episode. If people want to reach out and connect with you, because different guests hit different people at different times of their business stage or whenever they watch it, I've had stuff a year and a half later, people reach back out to me and go, I want to talk to that lady. How would they do that?
Call, text, email. I got all the things. I answer pretty much anything. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Kind of hard not to find me. So yeah, I got all the ways.
Side nugget, didn't you play professional football?
I sure did, and I absolutely loved it. It was a wild ride, but it was probably one of the funnest things I've done in my adult life.
I meant to open it up with that, and I dropped it, so I want to drop that one in there because I was like, here's your girl. Go talk to her about professional football. I followed her, like, not to be a weird stalker type, but when she was playing that professional football, I was like, I gotta see how things are going. Are they winning? Are they losing? Never got down to Houston, but I did take note and pay attention. So you did have a football stalker on your hands over here.
Hey, you know what? It was great. It was such a great experience. It was an amazing time, and man, I give it to those football players, because the older I get, I'm like, maybe I should sit down, but it's so addicting. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know when to stop. You're one of those go-getters. So Chelsea, thanks so much for your time. For all of our guests, like, this chick is a badass. To get a hold of her, talk to her, always know you can reach out to me if you need me to connect you. That's what I do these days. So Chelsea, thanks so much, and I appreciate you taking your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you.